Lewis Hamilton became only the second driver in the history of Formula One to reach 6 titles. He did so by finishing second in Sunday's United States Grand Prix, just behind teammate Valtteri Bottas. His fifth place in qualifying was probably one of his weakest qualifying performances in a very long time, and certainly in the V6 era, as Bottas took pole and he ended up 3 tenths behind and 4 places behind his Finnish stablemate. He did nail the Ferraris on the opening lap, but his failure to get past Verstappen in the first stint probably cost him a real chance of victory, with Bottas controlling the race out front. His disappointing qualifying performance definitely played an even bigger role in the fact he couldn't win the race. Despite his best efforts to hold off Bottas in the closing stage, he couldn't quite do it on much older tyres and had to accept second place, which was obviously more than enough to seal the championship. It's been another brilliant season by Hamilton, but it has to be said the Mercedes has been quite the superior car on a Sunday over Red Bull and Ferrari. 10 wins to Bottas' 4 though show how dominant Hamilton has been this season once again. It's going to take a monumental effort from Ferrari or Red Bull to catch Mercedes car-wise, and with Hamilton the most consistent of the front-running drivers, it's very difficult to see anyone stopping them again next year from making 7 in a row on the team side and 6 in 7 years for Hamilton. Hamilton is now the complete all-round driver and has been for some time. The most impressive thing for me is how much he's improved his tyre management versus the start of his career. At McLaren, he definitely struggled in the first couple of years in particular to manage the tyres, but in recent years he's been exceptional at it and probably one of the best, if not the best, on the grid now. Even if you don't like Hamilton, it's impossible not to pay tribute to him. He's done a magnificent job in recent years and looks set to break Schumacher's records to become the most successful Formula One driver in history by 2021. All you can do is tip your hat and say congratulations to Lewis and Mercedes on an absolutely magnificent job they've done over the last few years. Their consistency, speed and reliability from both car and driver has been absolutely incredible. His championship chances may have come to an end on Sunday at Austin, but Valtteri Bottas was absolutely outstanding all weekend. After struggling on Friday, he put in a terrific performance in qualifying to take pole position and then controlled the race beautifully early on before having to make a late race overtake on Hamilton to snatch the victory. This has been by far Bottas' strongest season at Mercedes, and for the first time really since the post-summer break since he joined them, he's really put in exceptional performances, and he had to justify keeping his seat over Esteban Ocon for next year. If he could do it on a more consistent basis in 2020, he might have a chance of shocking Hamilton and everyone in Formula 1 by potentially nicking the title. But he has to do it every single weekend, not just 4 or 5 weekends a year. Behind the two Mercedes drivers, Max Verstappen had a much needed solid weekend in his Red Bull. Third in qualifying, third in the race. He pretty much maximised what he could do. Of course, the yellow flags for Magnussen's broken car at the end of the race probably cost him a shot at having a go at Lewis Hamilton at least, but he'll take a podium after the disaster that was Mexico. Ferrari had a disastrous race day with Sebastian Vettel's suspension failure and Charles Leclerc being miles off the top 3 in P4. The Scuderia didn't have the power advantage they usually do on straights last weekend, which suggests something has changed. It really compromised their performance and they lost out heavily to Mercedes and Red Bull in the race. Daniel Ricciardo did an outstanding job in the midfield to be best of the rest, and you would hope in the coming years that Renault deliver him a better car so he can fight for top positions in the sport where he truly belongs. Lando Norris finished just behind him, and he did a good race as well, with a nice couple of overtakes on the first lap on Ricciardo and Bottas before eventually losing out to Ricciardo. Carlos Sainz's race was affected by the incident with Albon at the start, but he did an okay job to finish P8, and then behind Hülkenberg with a great late charge got 9th, and Kvyat should have been 10th, but a really silly lunge on Perez cost him a point. He could have easily made the overtake into turn 15, but instead he got off all wrong and hit the Mexican and deservedly got hit with a penalty to lose the point. Overall, it was a race that never really got going, but Bottas was the clear star for me. Who did you think was the driver of the race and what did you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. For now, goodbye.